Welcome to Do the Dream TV. We have a very special show and oh my goodness, a special guest who is heart-centered, folks. And I've known her for quite a long while, and she's going to tell us about her life and what she does. Because, see, I can tell you all about her, but I'd much rather hear it from my friend. Her name is Marguerite Fair. Welcome to Do the Dream TV, Marguerite.
Well, thank you, Kathy. At least you remember my name. That's a good thing.
That helps, don't it?
Yes, it does. It does.
And I
So,
want to know, starting off, who you are and what you do.
well, I'm Marguerite Fair. I'm a writer, director, producer, content creator. I have a YouTube channel that I do my laughter talk show on. And I just do, and I write books. I do screenplays, movies, you name it, I do it. I'm old enough that I've done a lot,
Are
and
you
I just
enjoy,
keep doing it.
are you enjoying what you're doing?
Oh, that's why I'm so happy because I'm going to be 75 in a couple of weeks. I was going to say a few months, but no, a couple of weeks. And I find that the older I get, the more I appreciate these things I do. And other people seem to genuinely get like inspired by it, which is why I do it.
Now,
And
how
yeah.
many guests do you have on Laughter Talks at a time? How many people have you interviewed? Let's put it that way.
How many people have I interviewed? Well, I've done so many shows. I've been doing this since 2013.
Wow.
And I put on one new show every week. So I don't think I can count up that high without my calculator. So that's a long time. But I have a new show each week, and I can have sometimes I'll have one guest at a time or two. I might do specials occasionally, and yeah, it keeps me busy. It's always fun, and it's always a little bit different.
Now, if they go to laughtertalks.com, they can
Mhm.
find your information there, right?
Well, I do have a site, laughtertalks.com. But the best way to find out, they can find out information about the show because
Yes.
I have two very lovely women that work with me. Samantha Wagoner, she's the associate producer, and Roberta Bassin, who is an actress and an author, and she is the development consultant. So you'll find out more about me and my team if you go to laughtertalks.com.
Now, in life, what is it that you want to accomplish? What's your major goal, Marguerite?
Well, my major goal has probably been the same for a while, and it did get, well, I did accomplish one of them because I'd done a full feature, and I want to do another full feature. My goal is to complete my projects, and I'm studying funding as a way to get that done because I'd like to do another feature. And presently, I do have one I'm thinking about, which is Exit Quietly. And so I did a short for it, and you can find all my projects, by the way, on fairproductions.biz. That's my main website where I house all the different things that I do. And so I want to put up another movie. And my goal, or I actually have small goals and small steps to get to it because you and I are mastermind people. And that's the way that it works for me. So that's what I'm doing. And I'm just taking the steps and enjoying the journey. Every day I do something towards my goals. And I was put off a little bit because, as some people, as you know, I did make a move. I moved from Burbank, California to Tulsa, Oklahoma in January. So that put a little bit of a halt to my work. But that's life. We have to go with the flow. But now I have a beautiful home in Tulsa, and I have my projects. I'm developing my studio here, and it's just amazing.
Now, what would you say is your special gift that was given to you in life by God?
Well, my special lift in life, I always say it was really laughter. I always made other people laugh. I like to laugh. I like to laugh at other people. I always say, I don't care if you laugh with me or at me because I'll do the same thing to you. I will laugh with you or at you. The object in my life is to laugh because it's like internal aerobics. I love to laugh. And I think that does inspire people too, which is all part of the process. And when you get together and laugh, what could be better than that?
They say that is very good medicine. Laughter is.
Yeah,
And if we can't laugh at ourselves, well,
exactly. It's like internal aerobics.
yes.
It's good for the body, the
Yes.
endorphins, the heart, everything. And the organs love it when you laugh.
And I remember when we first met and you were talking about, well, now don't get upset with me if you fall and I laugh at you because I think that's the funniest thing in the world. I never forget that. But please don't fall in front of her.
Yeah, I did. I laugh if I fall. I will laugh if you fall. My poor mother was crippled, and I went to hug her one
Oh.
time. She was standing by the stove, and she slid right down to the floor, and I laughed the whole time. I had to help her up eventually, but I had to wait till I stopped laughing.
Oh, Marguerite. I know we're a part of a mastermind group. And would you let people know what you think about being in a mastermind group? Because it's been many years we've been doing this. And what is your take on masterminding?
Well, masterminding started, of course, when I met you. I did meet you in Women in Film, and I just was delighted after having met you there that you invited me to attend your mastermind group. And that's when it started. And my goodness, I don't know what year that was. Whether do you remember the year? I
No.
think it was 2005 because
Wow.
my late husband had just passed away.
It was. You're right. You're right.
So it was 2005. And I do not come from an entertainment background. I was born a writer, but joining your group, it was so structured. And it was structured for anybody. It doesn't matter what your goals are. This group was for you to reach your goals, whatever they were. And as a result of that, I learned about goal setting and taking steps, which I wasn't too great about before. And you had even said to me, I wanted to be on your show when I met you in Women in Film. And you said, what do you do? I says, I'm writing a book. And you says, well, when you finish writing the book, contact me and you'll be a guest on my show. And that's what happened.
I'm sure that picture. I'm going to show that picture. I have that of you
Okay, good.
originally on that show. So
Okay,
when I edit
good.
this in, you're going to see that.
Yes.
Keep
Well,
going.
well, I'm
There.
glad you do because I mean, I would highly recommend masterminding for anyone because it makes you feel less isolated because a lot of times we're isolated or we know other people won't understand what it is we want to do, but you're in a safe environment with other like-minded people that are learning how to reach what they want with the help of friends, support. So I love it. It's a wonderful, wonderful. It's the best thing I ever did. I now know editing. I now do my own show. I learned green screen work. I mean, it's phenomenal. And I always go back to my M&M mastermind that I started with you that attributed to everything I accomplished while I lived in California.
See,
So thank you.
that's the thing. We're not an island. We need to help each other. We need to be a part of
Exactly.
each other. When you produce your movies, you do it with people. You have people on your team, and basically you have to go through a process to find the right people that fit the parts. And it's all a process. But you have to write everything down. You have storyboards, you have goals, you have a lot of things that you need to use. And you have to get the word out that you're having a movie. You have readings. So there's a
Yes.
lot to it,
Yeah.
what you do.
Oh, yes. And that's why the goals and the steps. I look at each step as a goal. I think that too many people figure I'm starting here and they want to go way over here and they think that's the way you do it, but you don't jump right over. There's a journey, there's a path, and those are the golden steps. So those golden steps will get you there, but you have to be patient. It's like letting a tree grow. You're not
Mm.
going to do any good just by sitting there and watching a tree grow. You've got to do something every day. Another little bit of fertilizer goes on your tree, and eventually you'll have a big, beautiful fruit bearing tree.
And I know you have a spiritual side. that you tap into that's helped you along the way as well? Tell us about that, about how Marguerite goes inside. What do you do? What's some tips you can give us?
Well, when I moved to California, I discovered Wayne Dyer. This was way back in the day, and he was on a PBS specials he used to do, and I listened to him, and I was enchanted because I said I believed everything I was hearing. And I said, but that's not who I am all the time. And so I started reading his books. And instead of just reading them, I practiced what I was learning. And I think every year I would take another lesson to help bring me into my spiritual nature, because he even has a book that I read also. There's a spiritual solution for every problem. And that was one of the ones that I read. And it's really true, but you have to go inside. It helps you to learn to trust yourself, because it reinforces your connection to God, to the one, to the universe. We're all connected. We're all together. We're not really isolated. And so when you turn to the spiritual nature, which is really what we are, we're spiritual beings. We're not these physical bodies, because the only thing that's true is that which does not change. And our bodies are changing every
All
second
the
of every day.
time. All the time. I know Wayne Dyer's one that says that we transform into different stages of our body, different looks that we receive. We're not the baby when we started out, or the 1 year old, or the 2 year old, or even at this stage now, we have different looks. And hopefully, as we mature, we gain more knowledge, because that's to me, the kids out there, this is something we can offer them that they don't realize. We have
Exactly.
whole entire chapters and chapters of books inside of us that can help them to make decisions, to not fall into traps that we fell into, and not preach to them, but teach them, help them, guide them. And I know that you're a really good teacher, Marguerite. You're helping many
Thank you.
people. And as a senior now, we both are, and you took a big step when you moved from California to Oklahoma, bought a
Hello.
house online.
Hello.
I said,
I do things like that.
yes. I said, you need to write a book about it. And
Yeah.
this is another thing about you. It doesn't matter what your steps are, okay? You already make up your mind you're going to do this. Then you put your goal out there. Then you figure out, okay, I'm going to do this. Now's your how. After you declare it, and then you put those pieces together. And that's what I really admire about you. You're able to do that. And a lot of people don't have those skills in order to make that determination. And fear. Now, fear plays.
Exactly, exactly. Because of my spiritual journey, I do not live my life in fear. I will not. And so because a lot of people were saying, how could you, what are you going to do? I mean, one day I was in California, the next day, but because of the spiritual foundation, that's why I'm able to do it, because I don't just say that I believe in God and the universe. I believe in God and the universe. So when I go on these journeys, that's why if someone's observing, but that's the reason. I attribute it all to God, and not in a religious way, in a spiritual way, in our connection to earth, our connection to creator. And when you have that and you don't have fear, it's just easier to do. I did have stresses to deal with,
Gosh, yeah, yeah.
and, it's not that it's perfect, but it's the faith and the belief that gets you through. There are consequences. I had problems with my knee. I mean, I am 74. You're sitting in a car driving without
Oh,
moving. And so when I got here, I had to actually, for about 3 or 4 months, just self heal. But again, it's part of the process. It's trusting the process. It's not going to ever be perfect. So, but a lot of people won't even start. And therefore is the fear, as you said, because they're afraid of the process, because it's going to be a combination of things. And maybe some of those things you really wouldn't have chosen, but you have to deal with.
but if you sat and you just thought about all the bad things that could happen, then they will.
Yeah.
Because
And who would
bringing them,
move?
you're bringing them to you. You are making those things happen by your thoughts. Or thoughts
Yeah.
can, yeah, thoughts make things happen. They really do.
Yeah.
That's why it's good to be in positive. And it's not, again, it's not that negative things don't happen, but if you can keep your eye on that result,
Hmm.
that, because I know you went into a blank house, a blank canvas,
Yeah,
girl.
that's another thing. I had no furniture. I moved here without furniture because I just bought a house online and didn't think it was going to happen so quickly. So I had to make the decision and I did it. And I now, my house is almost completely furnished and it happened. It's the faith thing. That's the word.
And how many months
I
did it
moved,
take you?
I actually, February, I lived because I moved here. I entered my home January 30th. I drove through a snowstorm in Tulsa, Oklahoma to get here.
I remember
So
that.
I've been here from, if you figure February, March, April. This is the fourth month I'm here.
4 months, and you were able to get settled in a community too. You have a
Yes, I have a
community you go
community.
to of people, and you found out downtown Tulsa where you have many things that you can go to, and
Yes.
everything is you have all the things that you need.
Yeah.
You
And I
found
found a spirit. The first thing I did, Kathy, was I did find a spiritual center. I go to the Tulsa Center for Spiritual Living with Reverend Jeff Staton, who is the minister. And I joined before I moved here so that I had a community of like-minded, kind, and wonderful people. And that's important. And it was the best thing I did.
so if I ask you, just look at our audience out here and just let them know what you need right now. What do you need? If you had your wish list, what would be on?
Well, my wish list is first of all, what I would love to do is to get over 1,000 subscribers on my YouTube channel, Laughter Talks, because this helps with promotions. This helps everybody that I do shows with, and that eventually leads to being able to monetize on your site, on your, the YouTube site. So I would like to do that. And also, I have a book, and this is part of my project. I was talking about Exit Quietly, and I wrote this book. It's called Prison of Obsession. And I've got the title This Way to Make It Different. And I sell these on Amazon.com. So if anyone is interested in supporting film work, if you know me and you purchase a book, you get when I do this movie, you actually will be listed in the credits of the movie as having been a sponsor to getting the project done just by getting a book. And you can go to fairproductions.biz. And I'm in the middle of doing things, but on Amazon.com. So if people would, be interested in getting this book, I would love that. And basically, just I love when people watch the show. So if you do subscribe and watch the show and send me any comments or suggestions, I would just really appreciate that. And if you'd like to be a guest on the show, you've been a guest on my show. I've
Oh
had
yeah.
many of my friends as guests on the show. So yeah, it's just, about helping each other and sharing and caring. And I appreciate that like everybody else.
Well, and to me, that's what life is about. It's
Yeah.
about people helping people and being heart-centered, a heart-centered community. And what I mean by that is that we are working with people who are coming from the heart, where there's not that oppression or,
Yeah.
we're trying to tell others what to do. We all have to live our own life, and we have to discover who we are first, and we have to love ourselves
Absolutely.
first before we're able to even care and love about other people. And that's what I love about you, my friend. You're very loving and caring. And I hope that you keep going with your movies. You have the best success, and that I'm at your next premiere. Because I
Oh,
did have a song in one of your movies, so that was
yes, you
fantastic.
did,
That was
Carousel.
Thank you. That was
You
fun.
should play it right here so that we could hear some of it, or
Yeah,
play it under
I'll
us
go ahead
because,
and put a little bit of that in there.
yeah,
Yeah, so that
because
they'll know
it's
that
beautiful.
this is how people help people.
Yeah,
This is how people
it's
come together and see what you need and what In fact, it'll be on one of my little commercials where I'm helping people that way too with a mastermind program that I'm doing called Do the Dream Extreme. So it extends it to more people so they can get together and form their own masterminds.
Well, I'm going to be doing your workshop
Yes,
the week after next. It is. I've got
yes,
it in my 3-day workshop.
yes,
And it's for free, so
yes,
people should really join in.
yes. So
It's a
I want
tremendous.
to thank you for being on and thank you for being just a darn good friend, my
Well,
friend.
thank you for having me, Miss B, and I feel the same for you. You've inspired me for everything I do, and you're the kindest, sweetest, most talented person I have ever met. And
Oh, I
I thank you very much.
appreciate you. Thank you for being on because we are we.
You're we. Love you.
I'm riding on a carousel. How did I begin? I'm riding on a carousel where no one ever wins. Circling, following everyone. I get dizzy spinning round. I'm riding on a carousel, going up and down, with music playing loud and sweet, covering up my blues. Constant is the rhythm's beat, the same familiar tune. I need the ride to go faster. I need to fly a little higher. I have no place, I have no space of my own. So I seem to feel much sadder. The ride is getting so much longer. I need to find, I must find my way back home. I'm riding on a carousel. How did I begin? I'm riding on a carousel where no one ever wins. I'm riding on a carousel. How did I begin? Riding on a carousel where no one ever wins.